So what is gradient? Gradient is here. The tool we have seen is here, gradient. Okay. Now gradient is gradation of the color, where you have two or more color and you want it to flow in a certain direction, and there should be a mixture of the color. Okay, say white and pink or black and white, and you need to have those colors mixing together and it should form a gradation. Okay, so that's what we are going to see now. So how do you get that gradation? You have to basically click on window and gradients. Okay, once you do that, gradients, you get the panel of gradients, all the presets which are there. So just click and you get that gradient on the layer. I have taken a separate layer and you can see those gradient applied. We can also have like purple color gradients, so all the purple color, click and that has been added. I want pastel color gradient, so we have the pastel colors. So as and when you're clicking, it's going to add. Okay, the predefined preset gradients are available. You can use it from window and gradients. Okay, so we have seen that. But when we are working on the gradients on the panel, on the property bar, we have here the basics, what is there. And if I click on that block, so this is gradient editor. Now in the gradient editor, basically whatever strip I get, this strip, okay, this strip is actually controlling your gradient. Now I can change the type of gradients in this and can be applied on the image. Okay, so this layer I have taken, click on this gradient slider. Okay, in Photoshop it's known as gradient stop. Click, see on top it becomes black, that means it's selected. In the color now, what you can do is you can choose the color and fill it. Okay, here I want something else, click and fill the color. Okay, say we are taking yellow, so we have this yellow. If you say okay, it's there, now you have to spread it. That has to be done manually. You have to spread it according to the angle and the concentration of the color. That is in your control. Okay, so what you have to do is if you want it to be dispersed, it should be spread quite nicely, then stretch more. If you want there should be like demarcation of the gradient line, stretch less. Okay, if you want it in certain angle, do that. So this is how you are going to select your gradient and put. Okay, now the gradient basically are of 3-4 types. The first one is your linear, so what we see is linear. Okay, the second is your radial, that is radial in circle. Then we have angular, this is an angle. Okay, then we have reflected, so this is your reflected gradient. Okay, and then we have our diamond, so this is almost square, what we call diamond or square gradient. Okay, so these are the ways what I can put my gradient on the layer or on the selection. Okay, also we have mode, we can directly take mode from here or we can have change of mode from the layer. You will see this layer is selected, the top of the gradient, and we have the normal mode. Okay, what are modes? Now modes are options, these are the options which are going to work with the background. So what is the background we have? We have the background this. Okay, we have this background and on top we have this gradient. Now this gradient should react with our photograph. So this, instead of normal, if I say dissolve, so edges will be more deterred. We have darken, so we get this darken effect with the photograph. Then we have multiply, the pixels are going to multiply with the pixels which are at the back. There's color burn, linear burn, there are lots of options which are there. On this, I'll be putting up a PDF on explanation of what exactly these do. Okay, so these are the pixels on top which is going to react with the background. Okay, so photograph is going to look the type of gradient we are going to use. So we have all these overlay and all. So this is how my gradient is going to work. So whatever suits best, I can take. I can have a different look of my image. So if I'm taking it circular, it's going to be in radial. If I'm going to take an angle, it will be in angle. Okay, see, whatever you want, you can take that effect. Okay, so this is how my image will be. Now our image is intact. just the gradient is reacting with the photograph. Okay, so we have understood what gradient is here. Now if I don't want this mode to be there, I can put it in normal and I can change the opacity. I can change opacity from here also, opacity, that is transparency, and it will be seen. Now I'll be putting it here. I will take this gradient, opacity 50%, I'll get that effect. Okay, so similarly, if I don't want opacity to be applied from here, I can apply opacity on the layer itself. So keeping this normal opacity, I can reduce. It's going to react with your image which is beneath. Okay, so just removing it. So this is how our gradient is going to work. So lots of ways, lots of things can be done in gradient, and we can be more creative. Okay, another thing, if we want to add more sliders, click and you can add more sliders. See, click and add the slider, click and add the slider. Once you're clicking the sliders, you can see this small triangles, the diamonds. Now these are for the concentration of the color. See here, it moves, which color you want more, you can take that. See, okay, and if you feel like you want to delete something, just drag it out. And if you want to actually specifically keep your pixel this slider onto a certain position, select, and here you have the location. Say this should be at 50%, so 50%, and it will come in the 50. This should be absolutely in the center of both, so 25%, 25, and this should be at around 85, so 85. So this is how you are going to keep all the points, and okay, and apply the gradient. Okay, so this is the way you are going to work with the gradient. And if you want to remove some colors, so select and drag out, select and drag out. Okay, and apply. See, okay, so through with the gradient, all the options you have understood. Select, you want to give opacity and all that, that is also possible. So this top is for the opacity, click on top and you'll get the opacity. Okay, so the transparency can be applied to the color. Okay, other than that, we have all these presets available. There is another thing in gradient which I would like to bring up. The gradient type, instead of solid, if I'm taking noise, so I'll get lots of colors. Just choose the type of family, okay, and apply it. See, so you're getting multiple colors and you will get a different effect. Now I am applying it on the complete image. If you want to apply it on a selected portion, so for example, I want to apply it with a quick selection. I'll select, okay, quick selection. I want to apply it only on this. I don't want it on this. So just making it another graph. Add layer, click, take the noise, whatever you want. So I'll take this and spread. Okay, so applied on that portion. Now I'm going to blend this with the background, so you get a different effect. Now the same thing can be applied on your image also. Whichever suits well, we are going to take that. At present, I can't sense any good effect. Okay, so this is there. I'm going to use the opacity. And we get this effect on the t-shirt. Okay, so this is how you're going to use the gradient. Okay, now that's it. We'll wind up with the gradient here. We have a paint bucket tool. That's quite simple. Choose the color and click wherever you want to apply. So image, click wherever there is a similar pixel is going to add color to it. Okay, if you want to apply it on the new layer, apply completely. So this is how you can fill color also. Okay, so very simple tool, that fill paint bucket. 3D we are going to see in the end when we'll understand the 3D concept. So I hope you are clear with what we have done here. Okay, please practice this gradient. You can use this for a good effective way. Okay, and we'll try and do some creative stuff with the gradient, how it can be used for the advertising design and all. We'll be covering a few videos on how to create the digital advertisement for your WhatsApp and Instagram and Facebook. In that, we will use all the color options also. Okay, soon it's going to come next to this video. Uh, Practice till then. Have a good day. Thank you.